Hey, this is Anonymous T. Welcome to my backup channel, Anonymous T Podcast, where we talk about some things that we can't talk about on our main channel. And please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to both platforms, both Anonymous T Podcast and Anonymous T, my main channel. So in this video, we are talking love and marriage Huntsville. You guys know why you're here. And today we are talking about Martell SIDECHICK coming out of the bushes. As you guys know, anything pertaining to Martell SIDECHICK for the most part is going to be on the backup channel, because that's where side chicks are. That's where entanglements are. That's where nobodies are. That's where people who still are not being claimed, still after 10 years, have no wedding, has nothing to show for anything, other than now all of a sudden a quote-unquote oops baby. Can you make it make sense? So what has happened now? What is taking place, right? So as you guys know, like I said, Martell likes to pop out whenever he needs attention, whenever the focus is not on him, or he wants to debunk something, or he wants to respond to the lavish lifestyle that MEL is providing for the 4 kids and all of the things. And Martell wants desperately for you guys to know that he is not doing as bad as it looks, except where he's actually doing worse, right? So nonetheless, remember in the previous video that I talked about that Martell was telling Ralph, Drew Sidor's, man, soon to be ex-husband, what have you, from Real Housewives of Atlanta, that in order to, keep your family together, stay off reality TV, and also was making a note about how Ralph calls Drew every single day, telling her that he loves her. He's talking about how important it is for the family unit to stick together, and blah, 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 blah. Also, Ralph was making a joke. Whoever hit their next golf ball to the closest hole or whatever was going to have to call Mel and tell them that they love her. And then Martell said that he is not trying to get another arrest for harassment, you guys, but still is having Mel's name in his mouth on this video since he cannot communicate with her, you guys. All of that for Martell's SIDECHICK to come out of the bushes, to come out of hiding, to come out of whatever hole she was at, you guys, and again, say nothing but foolery. See, here's the problem, right? The problem is you told a bunch of bloggers all of the real tea when you were pissed off at Martell, right? You exposed everything, right? And you now saying this is an oops baby after previously saying this was a planned baby, that you were tired of being pregnant at the same time as Mel, and Martell did not want to have any of the kids that he was conceiving with you. Make it make sense. But you thought this baby was going to bring you good fortune. You thought you were going to be able to cash in on this baby. You thought that this would be your ticket to make it on the show finally, Love and Marriage Huntsville, except for that ship sailed a long time ago. You signed away your rights for free, so they don't need you, right? And there's no way they're going to have, this baby ever on the show. So again, you lost again. And you thought that this baby was going to keep Martell, was going to prevent Martell from still having a harem of women. You thought that this was going to be, the answer for you guys to have your happily ever after, for you guys to have a big house and a white picket fence and all of the things, and actually legal be Mrs. Holt, the new Mrs. Holt number 2, except for Martell is willing to be with anything and everything but you. Make it make sense. Even going as far as to having, that manager of his that he was rumored to have some entanglement with, even joking with Destiny this season that her son looks like Uncle Marty Marr, even having Sheree on the show, even if it was for fake storylines to benefit them both on Love and Marriage Huntsville and Real Housewives in Atlanta, being rumored with other women going to casinos and all of the things. You are going out sad. Martell's still leaving flirty comments and likes on Sheree's page, completely and utterly ignoring you, right? but you get back on these platforms and you desperately want the people to know that you and Martell are still a thing, squatting different places and all of the things. But even if you're not currently together, that he'll be back for his nightly booty call, right? His nightly hookup or whatever, right? He only comes to you when, again, the streets are done calling for him, right? When, again, he cannot find his next Melody Cherie Rogers. He has to keep up the appearances with you behind the scenes late at night when everyone else is sleeping because he doesn't want to pay you child support. Right? And again, furthermore, she is desperate, the side chick, to again try to say that the court documents are a lie. Again, wants to put dirt on Mel's name. You need to be, because if it wasn't for Mel, whenever Martell did have the kids, you would not be able to have Uber Eats and DoorDash and the scraps from whatever the kids was not able to finish because Martell cannot provide for the kids. Because Martell cannot afford to provide for the kids. And you guys can't afford to stay at one place for a long period of time, right? But you have the audacity to, again, still name call Mel, still throw dirt on her name when it's point, because bashing her is getting you nowhere. Don't you see what's happening to all the people who keep bashing Mel, all the people who are still obsessed with Mel, all the people who keeps Mel's name in their mouths? They end up arrested, they end up getting sued, they end up with a show on the brink of cancellation or on the brink of being completely and utterly irrelevant after so much promise in the earlier seasons of completely going in a different direction, right? But again, what do you have to show for any of this, right? And I don't believe the judge thought any of the court documents was fake news. And why is it, as much as Martell has wanted to be seen and has done all of these Instagram lives, desperate for his pick-me's and his little fan base to, acknowledge him and give him some attention that he wishes he could get from Melody Cherie Rogers, but again, has to go on live, has to do the most, has to send shout-outs to his ex-wife, to still let her know that she is on his brain, even if he cannot contact her. And only for you does he occasionally throw a little dog treat at you in his lives to just let you know just a little bit that you still matter to an extent to him, but you'll never matter to the extent of what he purposefully, thought that he could get away with and played around and lost his entire family for. But nonetheless, despite all of your requests and demands, Martell has yet to get on any of these lives and debunk you and your daughter's behavior as it pertains to Mel and Martell's 4 kids together. So all of this screaming, all of this ranting and raving that you can do, and desperate to, of everything that's in the court documents, want to deny your daughter Paris bullying the Holt kids allegedly, and how mean and malicious you are to the Holt kids allegedly. Martell has not debunked any of that, you guys. Martell has not come out and said anything was false. Martell has not come out and said that anything that was alleged in there was wrong. He has yet to say or do any of that, you guys. Why? Of everything else. He even made a joke about being arrested again for harassment, but did not ever do anything once again to defend this side chick, you guys. And again, you have egg on your face once again. Like I said, the judge didn't think that this was, fake. The judge didn't think that this revenge case is fake because Martell now is convicted. And if the rumors are true that this is going to trial in September, you are going to be on the docket as well. You are going to have to answer as well. Now, you are now allegedly trying to claim that you're not going to be in Alabama anymore. I don't think I buy that because you've said this time and time again. You've said this before when Mel has wanted to move, when Mel has wanted to live in Atlanta permanently before this custody battle happened. And you claimed that you were going to be moving to Atlanta. You guys are just so desperate to be at Mel's level or try to be near wherever Mel is planning to go. And it's like she does not care. She wants nothing to do with you guys, and you guys refuse to get the hint. But I think that she is saying this. I think the side chick is trying to say that she's quote unquote moving now because she is hoping that that is going to prevent her, if this in fact is true that this is going to trial, that she will not be called to the stand and embarrass herself, Tasha K style, right? But nonetheless, the damage is done. There is too much evidence against you, and you keep getting on social media, you keep embarrassing yourself in front of the people and incriminating yourself. All of that time you were wasting, spending hours on end, talking to YouTubers, talking to content creators, complaining about Martell whenever you guys were on bad terms, confirming the revenge P when you guys were on bad terms, and then another witness in Carson Blue having those receipts of you contacting her and asking her what you should do about distributing a revenge P and trying to make it look as though Mel was cheating on Martell when Martell was in the video as well. Make it make sense, and that the only reason you didn't put out the video was not because you didn't want to, not because you had a conscience, not because morally you thought it was wrong. The only reason you didn't put it out was because you knew that was Martell in the video. And I just want to understand what is so appealing about being with a man for 10 years that is still obsessed with his ex-wife. What is appealing about being with a man for 10 years that still will not claim you and gives you scraps to the public? What is so great about being with a married man for 10 years as a side chick and you have nothing to benefit from? You have not, gained anything financially. You have not done anything to improve yourself or get some real education or get yourself a real job. You are hanging on to the little own checks that Martell is getting because Martell refuses to get a real 9-to-5 because he really thinks that Carlos King is going to defend him till the end, and Martell can be the face of Love and Marriage Huntsville. But as we see, with Martell being the face of Love and Marriage Huntsville and Martell being portrayed as a victim on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and when he's the perpetrator, when he's the aggressor, is not working out for the ratings, is not working out for the show, is not working out for the primary demographic of black women, you guys. But outside of that, what does this side chick have to talk about, right? Nothing. I think she's talking about her braces being removed. Nobody cares. People were going in on her. And I was like, why do you think at this point that you have fans, that you have people that are supporting you or supporting that sometimes open boutique online, right? They don't care. They're just there to see if you are going to once again slander and defame Mel, which you always seem to do. There was only a couple of times that I can count on my hand in which you, in a backhanded way, gave a compliment to Mel, in a backhanded way said to close your legs to married man, and that being with the married man isn't worth it, and all of the things, and that you wished that Martell was still married to Melody Cherie Rogers because you got your wake-up call that Martell was brokety broke. And it was Melody Cherie Rogers that made him look like he was rich, that made him look like he was a multimillionaire, except for clearly it was Mel that was the brains behind the operation. Clearly it's Mel who is still the multimillionaire. Still it is Mel that is able to afford her kids and a real luxury lifestyle. A real life of designer labels that you can only dream of and beg Martell on your hands and knees for, and Martell still gives you nothing. Again, why are you putting yourself through this? What is this worth? You even called out the fact how much your family is embarrassed by you and has told you time and time again to leave Martell alone and go back to Dayton, Ohio, and with the kid, and all of the things. And you refuse. You refuse because you thought there was some light at the end of the tunnel. You thought that because Mel left Martell for good and gave you what was left of Martell, which is the crustiness of Martell, and him looking 20 years older, Martell, and him going to, custom suits, to medium suits, to jogging outfits, and all of the things, again, nothing to show for anything, but you are desperate to get on these lives. You are desperate to get in front of the camera anytime Martell makes an appearance and embarrasses you once again and tells the people once again that if he could do it all over again, Mel still would be in the picture as he would hope. But it's a backhanded way as well, because really deep down, Martell is still not owning the fact that, again, he was listening to quote unquote his elders that stayed with cheating men and thought that Mel would do the same. And thinks that if, all of this was done off camera, that Mel would still want to be there. That Mel still would be Mrs. Holt right now. And I am here to tell you, no. That was never going to be the case, Martell. In fact, Mel wanted to scrap this show when she found out you were cheating, because she did not want that to be the focus. She still wanted this show to be about Black entrepreneurs and giving back to the Black community. So, SIDECHICK, how do you feel that you even qualify to be on this show, right? And maybe you think now that you're qualified to be on the show because it's SIDECHICKs Are Us, you guys. But again, even the SIDECHICKs Are Us are embarrassing themselves and are bending over and twisting over backwards to still defend Martell and still try to, see the light and try to see something good in Martell when everything is crumbling down, you guys. When it is creating nothing but backlash, you guys. So again, you can get on these lives all you want to after Martell clowns you and sends another subliminal to Mel. But ultimately, at the end of the day, Martell continues to show you who he is. And that is, he does not see you more than somebody he still wants to entangle with and have sexual relations with at will, but is never going to make an honest woman out of you. Is never going to marry you, is never going to do right by you, because he still sees you as nothing more than a career-long side chick. It has been, 4 going on 5 years now since the divorce has been finalized. So there is nothing that is preventing Martell to get married again, which I believe he still wants to do. But it's unfortunately not going to be to you, because why buy the cow when you are continuing to get the milk for free, you guys? And why buy the cow? Why buy a broke cow when you're broke as well? That's not building anything together, right? So again, Martell is still on the hunt for the next Melody Cherie Rogers, and he still hopes in the back of his mind that maybe one day Mel will take him back, because that is his ego and his narcissism. He still thinks, even though Mel left him for good, even though she divorced him and wanted nothing from him, even though she dropped her last married name for Holt and went back to Rogers and goes by Melody Cherie Rogers now, he still tries to put those little feelers out there to let the people know that if he had it his way, Mel still would be with him. But really what he is saying is, if he had it his way, he still would have access to Mel's money to spend on these side chicks. And unfortunately, instead of, the designer labels, now it is back to the knockoffs. Now it is back to Dollar Tree and Dollar General and all of the things, you guys. So, of course, when you see the Holt kids coming in, stunting, and looking, well-fed, well-taken care of, well-raised, humble, all of the things that happen when you have a devoted and hardworking parent that actually cares about their kids and isn't using their kids against them to try to gain favor with others and themselves, right? So that just eats at you, that you cannot have that same lifestyle provided for your kids, even though you were with the man that you thought was going to give all of this to you, except for you lost again. But going on these lives, continuing to embarrass yourself when, like I said, All of the receipts are with all of these content creators of all of the things that you have said in the past about Martell and what the real is, and all of the private and inappropriate things that he has told you about Mel and Mel's mama Van that you were not privy to ever know about, right? But you wanted to utilize it because you thought that you had some smoking gun, when all it did was it just validated how disgusting you are and how trifling you are. Because what side chick for 10 years is watching Revenge P, watching the married man with his wife that he was married to at the time, watching their intimate moments, watching their sex tape. For what purpose? Make it make sense. All this time that you brag about Martell, quote unquote, coming to you after midnight and all of the things, he still has Mel on the brain, still talks about Mel 24/7, even though there are active cases right now in which Martell can go to jail for, because of his recklessness, because of the DV, because of the continued harassment, because of Martell refusing to sit down and shut up. But you seem to think because he keeps coming around, even if it's 2 a.m., even if it's 4 a.m., for a little booty call, for a little entanglement and all of the things, you think that you won. But you did not win, right? Because, again, just picking up, the local junk food at Dollar General and Dollar Tree isn't going to cut it, side chick, right? Again, picking up the Dollar Tree version of sunglasses and not the $530 Gucci glasses, Gucci sunglasses that Tank was able to pick out. You cannot handle it. You cannot afford to get your kids red bottoms. And Martell can't afford to get his kids red bottoms and all of the things. But Mel can. Mel can afford it and more. And that's what has you bothered. You guys really thought that you were still going to have access to the money. But you stupidly thought that Martell, quote unquote, the provider, actually had it. And the joke is on you. So you have nothing else to do but try to save face every time Martell clowns you. Make it make sense. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.